Hello, so my name is Dr. Jawad Alzeer. Today I thought to continue in this subject to understand what's going on in our body correctly. This education is very important because if we understand how our body is working, we can tune our health much better. And this is the principle of lifestylopathy. Lifestylopathy is trying to explain the knowledge in a very simple way because it is more directed to common people and to patients. So it's not more directed to professors or doctors or even students, but no, to the common people. And therefore, I would like always to explain each concept based on the general concept which it says it makes sense. So once you know that it makes sense, hopefully it means that I'll be able to motivate you how to involve in maintaining your health. Now, it's important to understand this metabolic process because our goal is always how to maintain stable physical strength. And we know that the catabolic process is always running all the time, and we lose potential all the time. And the challenge is not how to lose potential, the challenge is always how to build potential. Now, when we lose potential, we increase entropy, and when we increase entropy, we increase the disorder, and then we increase the release of heat. Now, heat in the body is a stress. If we try to find ways how to store heat in our body, this will have a negative consequences. And therefore, there is a good mechanism that our body losing this heat. And heat usually flow from let's say area which has high temperature to the area which is always low temperature. And luckily, this is you can understand why our body to work correctly it has to have a temperature 37 degrees, which is most of the time higher than the surrounding. If it is the same, if our body's temperature is lower than the surrounding, I think we cannot survive. Now, because most of the time the temperature is lower, so we lose heat all the time, and heat flow from our body to outside, and this is essential because if it is kept, all this is dangerous. Why it's dangerous? Proteins usually in our body they work based on weak forces, either inter or intramolecular forces like hydrogen bonds and so on. Those weak forces are highly sensitive to heat. So if large molecules like DNA or protein is exposed to heat, and if this heat was enough and for a long time, then molecules usually they denature. When they denature, they become unfold. So usually when molecule is self-assembled, their potential is internal. So they can they have unique functions and they're rich in information. But once they are unfold, then they open. When they open, you see the molecule become more flexible. So still protein is maintaining constitution, configuration, but you may notice flexibility is increased, so the conformation is increased. So now this is one reason why we lose potential through first step is increasing conformation. Now this will have an impact on the function of the protein. Now, if this protein is fold back, then it becomes functional once again. And usually when it function or when the protein has to do a function, it fold, open, close, open, close. But there is a moment if it is constantly exposed to heat, open, close, there is a moment where it will close in a misform or in a mismatch. Misfolding. Now, this misfolding is bad because it's not coming back to the native structure of protein. And then this protein becomes unfunctional. And it has two possibilities. Either it goes quickly in catabolic process to break it down into small molecules and into into waste product and removed out of the body, or it becomes resistance toward catabolic process. So it is not functioning and it is not going through catabolic process. So it starts accumulating. And then when it starts accumulating, then we start having unique disease, especially in the brain. This is like for an Alzheimer disease. This is how usually we start accumulating disease toward Alzheimer. And therefore, initially, all of this because of the accumulation of non-functional misfolded protein. And the main reason is there is heat which has for a while has been accumulated and start generating different conformation, and um, and that is why it is always risk to maintain heat in our body, and we have to devise methods how to release extra heat in our body if we feel abnormal. That's why indeed swimming is a very good tool in releasing more heat into the surrounding, because water is always is an excellent in absorbing heat, and um, and also sometimes having a cold shower is extremely very useful, because if heat accumulated in our body, this create stress, and we have to find ways how to get rid of this extra heat. So having cold shower is extremely very useful. I know people don't like cold water, but just do it slowly. Start with warm and slowly cool it down, and then stay minimum 1 minute under this cold temperature, cold water, and you will release so much unneeded heat, and your body will regain strength and power. So, so this is what I wanted to say, that when protein is exposed to heat, so um, it it will generate, it will unfold, and now it has a possibility to reverse back and to fold once again, and or it goes through complete catabolic process, and if it goes through complete catabolic process, it breaks down proteins, the constitution and the configuration, and they generate a huge number of conformation. Usually this is irreversible reaction, unless we can find ways how to rebuild this protein and make use once again of these amino acid building block. So we have to be smart in finding good ways how to reduce heat in our body, because this is the source of disease, source of making our proteins unfunctional, source of denaturing our DNA and proteins and so on. And therefore, um, cold water, cold shower, swimming in water, or sitting in an atmosphere where temperature between our body and the surrounding is around 15, more or less, this is the standard and this is the best. So this is, I think, the first important information I wanted to give for you, how you can really cure yourself by just finding ways how to release extra heat in your body. Accumulation of heat is not good. So wish you good health. Thank you.